This is Total Office Manager. We know that it is important for new users to be able to easily get around in the software, so we have an easy-to-use, built-in workflow navigation system. For example, a CSR would use the Workflow Navigator to add a customer, work order, use the schedule board, enter a sale, and receive payments. Now, someone who handles accounts payable would use the Vendors tab right here to quickly enter purchase orders, receive items into inventory, pay bills, and print the checks. Now, many jobs start with a phone call, and that is why we have put a ton of focus on making it easy for you to take care of your customers as fast as possible, so you can provide them with an excellent customer service experience. So when a customer calls in, the caller ID window pops up front and center. Your CSR will be able to greet your customer by name and already have their customer profile up before even picking up the phone, so that your CSR is ready to answer questions or book a work order fast. And notice that when a customer calls in, you're able to see a lot of important information, such as do they have any financial history? Are they on credit hold? What's their balance? What's their address? Do they have any open sales opportunities? Here we can see that this customer has an in-progress HVAC installation sales opportunity, which is a potential sale in the pipeline. We know that speed is important, and that the faster you're able to book a call, the happier the customer will be. And by fast, I mean really fast, because everything is a click away within a customer's history screen, including invoices, work orders, service agreements, equipment, checks, payments, journal entries, purchase orders, appointments, sales opportunities, estimates, phone messages, AAA payment applications, and timesheet entries. Not only that, but you're also able to quickly access contact log entries to view past phone calls, emails, and notes. So no more having to slowly search for information to answer your customers' questions like equipment filter sizes, warranty expiration dates, how much they owe on their next bill, when is the technician going to arrive, and so on. Now keep in mind, not only are you able to view the customer's past history on the screen, but you're also able to create whatever you want by simply right-clicking the screen and selecting New. For example, if I go to the Work Orders tab, right-click and select New, I'm now ready to create a new work order for this customer. If instead I would like to create a new appointment, I would go here, right-click, select New, and I can go ahead and create an appointment like a phone call appointment or a sales appointment where we're going to go to their place of business or to their home and do a presentation. But let's say I want to create a new estimate. I would just go to the Estimate tab, right-click and select New, and I'm ready to create a new estimate from scratch. If instead the customer was calling, but not calling for me, calling for someone else, and I happen to answer the phone, I would go to the Phone Messages tab, right-click, select New. Let's say the customer was calling for Mr. Bill T. Riker. And I could put in Jim called about proposal 12345. Please call and it's urgent. And then this will give a message to Mr. Bill T. Riker on his Total Office Manager to let him know that the customer has now called and that he needs to get this resolved. When he goes to his computer, he will see unread messages at the bottom left. He will select it, open up that unread message, and then he can easily go then to wherever he wants by using the menu option. If he wanted to go into the contact log, he can, to see past conversations. If he wanted to go into the customer's history, he can by going right there to the history, and this history screen would pull up to be able to answer anything that the customer might have for him. We make sure to connect your office staff and technicians so that they can work together as a team. For example, the CSR can fill in work order details so that the technician will be properly informed on what kind of job they are walking into. This includes starting equipment details like make and model for the technician, install dates, and so on right in the office, and then having the technician capture the rest of the information once they are on site. And keep in mind that both the office and the field can add images to equipment and documents. Now, just like the history screen for a customer, equipment also has its own master history screen. You would simply click Menu, go to History, And now you'll be able to see every sale that has ever occurred for that specific piece of equipment, every work order that's happened for that specific piece of equipment, and any service agreements that are tied to that piece of equipment. Now here we see the view that the technician would have out in the field when he opens up a customer's profile. When he scrolls down, it's going to be no different than when you're looking at it in the office, where you can see the customer's history on their profile here. And just like before, they have access, just like you do in the office, to all the invoice and sales, work orders, service agreements, appointments, sales opportunities, estimates, phone messages, and purchase orders. Now they do have access to this if you give them permission. You can lock them out of whatever you want to lock them out of. And when we hit the back button and then we scroll down, you're able to see that they also have the customer equipment right here. And just like before, this would be every piece of equipment that this customer has on their property. And when the technician opens it, they're able to see all of that information, capture the images out in the field, tie documents out in the field, and more importantly, capture more of that information, such as its installation date, serial number, and so on. The technician is also able to see that equipment's history, including every sale that's ever happened for that piece of equipment, every work order that's ever occurred, and every service agreement. So it's very easy for them to go into the work order history here and be able to go see that, oh, looks like this has had a repair in the past due to no cooling. Open that up and then scroll down and be able to see any kind of notes that were put in before for it. Now back within Total Office Manager, if the customer has a favorite technician, you will easily be able to see this and send out their preferred tech. And with our technician skill level checking, your CSR will be able to also make sure they're sending the right person for the job. Now what if a customer is calling in about an issue after an installation or repair? Well, we got you covered. With our callback tracking, you will be able to track who is causing callbacks, how many, and why, because knowing is half the battle. Notice for the work order that we can put in a brief description, a detailed description, a work order type, and a color code. You can also set a week promised and a time slot promised. On the Notes tab, you also have a section for private notes and technician notes, which will be filled out by the technician out in the field. In the Additional Info tab, you're able to set a priority. Since this is going to be a repair, we would set that as a high priority. In the Equipment tab, the CSR would choose the equipment that this work order is going to be for. And here in the Items tab, we can have the CSR put in a trip charge. And on the Assets tab, that is where the CSR would choose any company assets to be assigned to that work order. This would be useful for when you do not want to end up double booking any kind of equipment that your company owns. We here at Aptora understand that it's important for your technicians to be able to communicate with others involved on a project, so we have a built-in chat system for everyone to communicate back and forth. Here we can see Bill alerting others on the project that he has just got done running a line set. This way you'll always have access to the history on what was said, when, which job, and who said it right from the software. With Total Office Manager, we want your office staff to be able to work as efficiently as possible. This is why we made the dispatch board simple to read, yet fully customizable and powerful. Scheduling and rescheduling a job is as simple as clicking and dragging. Do you have a ton of work orders to manage? No problem. With Total Office Manager's dispatch board, you will be able to easily filter and organize them. Here you can see on the left-hand side of the screen, I have the software group all of the work orders by start date. I can also group them by customer by simply dragging the column header into the Group By section. Now not only are the work orders grouped by date, but also by customer. So let's say we have a customer who wants us to come out on March 14th, and we see that we have a time slot available around 2 p.m. for Bill. I could simply right-click the time slot and click New Work Order. So here, in our new work order, we will choose Jim's house as the customer. We'll put in a brief description, and we'll also put in a detailed description of no cooling. For the work order type, we'll choose repair, and for duration, we'll choose 2 hours. In the additional info tab, we'll set it as high priority. We'll make sure that the proper equipment is selected, which it is. For items, we'll put in a trip charge, and then we'll save and close. Notice that the work order now shows up in Jim's history profile, and when we pull up the dispatch board, the work order now shows up starting at 2 p.m. and going on for 2 hours. Keep in mind that within Total Office Manager and its dispatch board, we have a 3-click mouse rule, which means we want you to be able to do anything within 3 mouse clicks. So even on the dispatch board, if I were to right-click a customer's work order, I have the option to create invoices, sales, credits, estimates, purchase orders, appointments, sales opportunities. I'm able to go straight into their equipment, their work order history. I'm able to create callback work orders. I'm able to duplicate, create timesheet entries, set statuses, and change confirmation statuses. With our built-in mapping system, your dispatcher will easily be able to see who is where and when. Not only that, but because the technicians are clicking stopwatches on their work order, the dispatcher will also be able to see who is en route and currently working. The stopwatches are also very useful for job costing and for determining billable hours versus hours sold. Once a technician is scheduled, our automated message system will message the customer that the technician is on the way, and this is all fully customizable so that you can tailor it to your business. This includes a picture of the technician, which increases the comfort level of the customer who is going to have a stranger visiting their home. When we created Aptora Mobile, we wanted to make sure first and foremost that it was easy for technicians to use, but also just as powerful as the Office software. Let's say a technician wants to repair ahead of time before entering the customer's home. They can easily see the job location, CSR's call notes, past work performed, photos, existing equipment, contact log entries, service agreement history, hot sales opportunities, and so on within Aptora Mobile. They will also know how to pronounce the customer's name, if this is a VIP customer, preferred language, pre-approved for financing, and so on. The sky's the limit. Not to mention, we also provide customizable pre-written technician notes so that the technician can easily log the work performed without spelling errors. And we have found this also increases the value the customer receives, because instead of getting an invoice that reads replace capacitor, it will instead be far more professional and detailed. It's also very helpful when your company needs to read past technician work order notes. We have also made it easy for your technicians to keep track of past purchase orders they have created. We have found that for many businesses, it's helpful to have a second set of eyes on these orders, and that it helps decrease the likelihood of an item arriving to your shop and everyone forgetting about it. Using the built-in Sales Opportunity Manager, technicians and salesmen will be able to easily access sales leads to remind the customer about recommended equipment replacements or maintenance, which will increase the likelihood of a sale. Also, depending on the type of sales lead, you can have custom profile questions that you ask the customer, such as how old is your current system? What's your average utility bill? Does anyone in your home have allergies? And so on. You also have qualification questions that are fully customizable, such as, is your system 10 years or older? Are you looking to install this year? Do you own your own home? Keep in mind that just about everything you see in Aptora Mobile is also available in the Office, including the Sales Opportunity Manager you see here. But really, it shouldn't be called Office software anymore, because we can put your Total Office Manager on the cloud. This means that you can access the software you see right now on a laptop or Chromebook while out in the field. This is perfect for someone who is a power user that wants to use a keyboard and mouse on the go. We here at Aptora know that many companies would like to truly go 100% paperless. Our solution to this is called Aptora Mobile Form Builder. It allows you to create data entry screens that technicians or customers can fill out using Aptora Mobile 2 in the field. Here you see we have a comprehensive cooling system evaluation that can be filled out digitally in Aptora Mobile Form Builder. This is a great form to give to a customer after it's filled out by the technician because it adds value. It shows the customer what they're paying for. It also allows you to keep a great record on equipment readings that your technicians are getting out in the field. We wanted to make sure that we provide your customers with a shopping experience similar to what they are used to when they shop online. This is why we provide your technicians with the ability to add items to a shopping cart along with images, GIFs, videos, and sales documentation so that they can better educate the customer on their different options. With our presentation mode, you can showcase the different options when you hand the customer the tablet. With our built-in financing, we allow your technicians to offer financing on the spot to move big sales forward quickly and easily. With Aptora Mobile, it's very easy to collect payments. You can take cash, credit, or check out in the field. And it's not a problem if a customer wants to pay some cash and the rest with a check. Credit cards can be captured using the tablet's camera as well. For owners, managers, and employees who want to view it, we provide you with powerful tools out in the field. With our performance dashboard, you're able to view metrics in real time. We want you to be able to monitor your company whenever and wherever you are. Here, in our dashboard, you can view who is in first, second, or third place, how many sales have occurred for the day, what was sold, how many add-on sales occurred, service agreements sold, number of work orders, number of callbacks, and so on. Last but not least, I would like to mention that Total Office Manager has over 400 reports built into the software. This includes job costing reports and being able to easily see your net profit per department. You can also easily run reports for your CSRs and salesmen in the office, as well as reports on your marketing campaign efforts. You're not only able to see clearly the money spent towards your marketing efforts, but also how much money these marketing efforts are generating for you. You're able to see how many leads, appointments, and sales have been generated per marketing campaign, and with our call cap integration, you will no longer have to ask a customer which marketing campaign spurred them to call you today, because you will already know which marketing effort caused the call to occur due to call cap, allowing you to create a special phone number tied to each of your marketing campaign efforts. I would like to thank you for taking your time to view this abridged demo today. If at any time you would like to learn more about our software, feel free to call us anytime at 913-492-9930.